Well, we got a new trailer for Into the Spider-Verse earlier today, and man does it reveal a ton of details about the upcoming movie. So let's dive into the trailer, break it all down, and talk about some of the awesome references, Easter eggs, and plot points that were revealed. Well, we got an unexpectedly early drop of the most recent Across the Spider-Verse trailer. The international version has found its way online, and man does it have a lot of interesting reveals. Not only does the trailer reveal a lot of plot points and details about the movie, it gives us some ideas of how extensive some of these rumors will turn out to be true, and some of the big ones might actually land. Now, the big takeaway there is we actually heard voices for Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland, which does suggest that they very well could be part of this movie in one way, shape, or form. They definitely exist as part of the greater Spider multiverse, and you know Sony Pictures wants to include them if at all possible. We also had that rather on-the-nose reference from Miguel O'Hara about the Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and what they did to the multiverse, clearly calling out the events of Spider-Man No Way Home, which I actually think is Sony's attempt to kind of start to sew this all up into a nice neat package. So the trailer did reveal a lot of action segments, and they didn't disappoint. Not only does the action look great, but all the animation styles bringing the action to life only makes it better, and once again I think we're going to have something special out of this movie, and there probably should be talks of another animation Oscar because it really does look that good. Now, the trailer does reveal some big details about the upcoming film, and honestly, these are the details that matter. The dressings around the story are nice, but the story is what has to work, and it appears clearly that Miles Morales is going to be facing another one of those classic sacrifice tales that seem to affect Spider-Man. Now, Miles' sacrifice is at the center, and like all Spider people, their tragedy is their story, but for Miles, that tragedy hasn't happened. Now, you know in the comics that Peter Parker's death plays a big part in him becoming the ultimate Spider-Man in the 1610, and we saw a bit of this in the first film. But if you follow the comics, the death of his father is even more important, and clearly that is at the center of this new trailer. We have been speculating for a while that the Empire Strikes Back moment at the end of the film was going to focus around Gwen. But honestly guys, after seeing this trailer, I'm really starting to think that will indeed be Miles' father. He's clearly very close to him, and that sacrifice that all spiders make, well, it could break him like it has broke so many others, and honestly might hurt a little more as we've gotten to know his father over the two films. This has always been a huge part of Spider-Man character development, and how this is handled and how it works out clearly is going to impact Miles. Now, one other thing that became apparent from the trailer is where the Spot is going to fit in. Quite honestly, it didn't feel like the Spot was going to be the main villain, but just a villain to help facilitate the story. This would be a bit disappointing because I was looking forward to him being a big part of the overall story. But it really does seem that he will be some sort of supporting character, and I suppose that will be fine. I just wanted to see quite a bit of him. Now, in the trailer, I totally like the visuals and the comedy we got out of the character, and the producers of the film clearly get the Spot and what he's capable of. I really do want a lot of the Spot in action, and I love the idea of him as the main villain, but it does appear to me that Miguel O'Hara is really playing more of the antagonist role than the Spot. This begs the question if Miguel O'Hara is actually the real villain of the movie. Now, if you know the character, you know he is a hero, but he seems pretty adamant that the multiverse needs to be saved, and he is the one to do it. Now, I will say that multiverse hopping gadget he gives the team is pretty snazzy way, and makes it easy as far as storytelling elements go. But he really is asking Peter to do something that isn't heroic or what heroes do, and that appears to be sacrificing his father. Now, I'm sure there's a reason for this that hasn't been revealed in the trailer, obviously somehow endangering the multiverse, but the theme of being a Spider-Man is being a hero, and Miles seems to get that in this situation where Miguel seems to have lost his path. Now, I think ultimately this will work out in a way that shows Miguel's true heroic nature, but the story itself really does seem to be focused on that element, and how the expectation of Miles really is for him to make the same kind of sacrifice as everyone else. Now, like I said, all the other elements of the trailer completely work. The visuals are great, the action looks fluid, and again, the animation is absolutely awesome. We've only got a couple more months till this movie comes out, and I actually believe at this point it might be the biggest superhero movie of the year. The first film did pretty rock solid at the box office, but I completely expect this one to build on it quite a bit, and with the massive expansion of the Spider-Verse, I think we're going to see a lot of new fans start to show up and enjoy the ride, but we're going to have to wait and see.